What is that? Oh my god. Someone help me! At first glance, it looks like a food challenge gone terribly wrong. A traveler takes one bite. His eyes widen, his face turns red, and he immediately reaches for water. Another person smells a tiny bowl of sauce and pulls away in disbelief. But then, something unexpected happens. A few minutes later, the same travelers return to the table. They dip another piece of food. They add more chili, and some of them even ask for more. This reaction appears again and again across Vietnam. International visitors arrive feeling suspicious of unfamiliar bottles, fermented aromas, and dangerously small red chilies. They hesitate. They smell carefully. They touch the sauce with the very end of a chopstick. But before long, many are dipping, pouring, mixing, and eating like locals. Because one of the greatest secrets of Vietnamese cuisine is not always found inside the main dish. Sometimes it is waiting in a tiny bowl beside it. A few drops of fish sauce can transform a plate. A spoonful of chili sauce can wake up a bowl of noodles. One small chili can turn dinner into a test of courage. And a fermented sauce that smells terrifying at first can eventually become unforgettable. Today, we are exploring 5 Vietnamese sauces and seasonings that international visitors often fear at first, but somehow end up craving. We begin with the friendliest red bottle on the table. Walk into a noodle shop, a banh mi stall, or a small family restaurant in Vietnam, and there is a good chance you will see a familiar red bottle. Chin Su chili sauce. For many Vietnamese people, it is so ordinary that they barely notice it anymore. It appears beside pho. It is squeezed into banh mi. It is served with fried chicken, sausages, French fries, and fried fermented pork rolls. Even a simple bowl of instant noodles can feel more exciting after adding a little chili sauce. For an international visitor, the bright red color may look like a warning. They expect something aggressive. But Chinsu does not usually attack like an extreme hot sauce. Its appeal comes from balance. It is spicy, but generally not painfully spicy. It is sweet, but not overwhelmingly sweet. And it carries enough heat to wake up the food without hiding the flavor underneath. A cautious visitor begins with one small drop, then another. Soon they are squeezing a red line across an entire sandwich. In the footage, one foreign man living with a Vietnamese wife keeps different bottles and separates them by heat level. What began as a simple condiment has become something he compares and enjoys like a local expert. A traveler first tries it with pho, then with banh mi, then with fried food. Soon they begin looking for the bottle before the meal has even arrived. But chili sauce is only the beginning. The next flavor is not simply placed beside Vietnamese food. For many families, it is the soul of the meal. The first encounter with fish sauce can be confusing. The color looks unfamiliar, the aroma is strong, and because Vietnamese families often keep several bottles in the kitchen, some visitors have even wondered whether it might be a drink. It is not. But in Vietnamese cooking, fish sauce can be almost as essential as water. For many Vietnamese people, its aroma is connected to childhood, to family meals, to boiled vegetables, fried fish, braised meat, and hot rice placed together on the table. It is more than something salty. It is a familiar taste that can instantly make a meal feel like home. Fish sauce may be added while food is cooking, but it can also become the foundation of a dipping sauce known as nuoc cham. It is mixed with water, sugar, lime or vinegar, garlic, and chili. The result can be salty, sweet, sour, spicy, and fragrant at the same time. The recipe sounds simple, but getting the balance right is an art. One family may prefer it sweeter, another may use more lime. A restaurant in central Vietnam may prepare it differently from one in the south. The sauce changes according to the dish, the region, and the person making it. It may accompany bun xeo, spring rolls, boiled pork, fried fish, seafood, ban bot lok, and, of course, bun cha. At first, some foreign diners approach it carefully. They dip only the edge of one piece of food. But after one proper bite, something changes. The sauce does not simply sit on top, it connects everything. The sugar softens the saltiness. The lime brightens the meat. The garlic and chili add energy. The sauce enters the noodles, herbs, vegetables, and grilled meat, bringing every ingredient together. That is why someone eating bun cha may begin by dipping cautiously and finish by using almost every drop left in the bowl. Fish sauce reveals an important rule of Vietnamese cuisine. Strong ingredients are not always meant to be judged alone. They are meant to be balanced. The next ingredient gives visitors almost no time to prepare. It is small, it looks harmless. That is exactly why people underestimate it. A tiny red chili lies beside a steaming bowl of pho. To a Vietnamese diner, this looks completely normal. To an international visitor, it may be a trap. Fresh chilies are found everywhere in Vietnam. They are sliced into noodle soup, crushed with salt and lime, added to fish sauce, or bitten directly between mouthfuls of food. Foreign visitors often discover that the smallest chili on the table can produce the largest reaction. Korean travelers may feel especially confident at first. Korean cuisine is famous for kimchi, spicy noodles, and red chili paste. Some visitors therefore believe Vietnamese chili will not be a serious challenge. Then they bite into one. Within seconds, the confidence disappears. The eyes begin to water, the mouth burns, the heat seems to travel into the nose, down the throat, and somehow reach both ears. Suddenly, the table fills with shouting. "Oh my God! It is too spicy! Someone help me!" The funniest part is that the chili may be smaller than a finger, but Vietnamese diners know the rule. Small does not mean weak. During the next meal, however, the visitor may try again. This time, they use a smaller piece. They notice how the heat changes the broth. Several days later, the same person who nearly cried may begin asking for extra chili with pho, bun, or com tam. The first experience creates panic. The second creates curiosity. And eventually, the heat becomes part of the pleasure. But fresh chili warns you only after you bite it. The next flavor gives a warning before it even reaches the mouth. You can smell it from the other side of the table. There are foods that divide international visitors. And then there is Mom Tom, a sauce powerful enough to divide Vietnamese people themselves. Some people love it completely, others refuse to sit near it. Mom Tom is a fermented shrimp paste made with small shrimp and salt. Its color can range from grayish purple to a deeper violet. Its aroma is unmistakable. For someone experiencing it for the first time, the smell can be shocking. Foreign visitors lean toward the bowl. They inhale. Then they immediately pull away. Their faces change. Their hands move toward their noses. Some look genuinely concerned that the food may have gone bad. It has not. The aroma comes from fermentation, a traditional process that creates the deep and concentrated flavor Vietnamese diners value. But Mom Tom is rarely eaten straight from the container. It is prepared. Sugar is added, then lime or kumquat, fresh chili, sometimes a spoonful of hot oil. Everything is mixed until the surface becomes light and foamy. The sharp aroma remains, but the flavor becomes deeper and more balanced, salty, slightly sweet, rich, fermented, and almost impossible to compare with anything else. Its most famous partner is bun dao mam tom, rice noodles, fried tofu, boiled pork, fresh herbs, cucumber, and a bowl of shrimp paste sitting at the center, like the final challenge. A new visitor may begin with the smallest possible amount. Only the edge of one piece of tofu touches the sauce. Then comes the first bite. The smell may still seem frightening, but the flavor suddenly makes sense. The crispy tofu softens the intensity. The herbs add freshness. The noodles calm the saltiness. The lime creates brightness. Each part balances the others. The visitor takes another piece. This time, they dip slightly deeper. One traveler describes the aroma as frightening, but the taste as unforgettable. That may be the most accurate description of Mom Tom. It is not always love at first smell. Sometimes it is confusion at first smell, surprise at first bite, and obsession after several meals. Eventually, some visitors stop eating like nervous tourists and begin mixing the bowl like locals. But our final seasoning creates a different kind of confusion. There is only a piece of fruit and one strange question. Why are Vietnamese people putting salt on mango? In many countries, fruit is eaten by itself. It may be added to yogurt, covered with cream, or turned into dessert. But in Vietnam, a sour green mango is often treated very differently. It is cut into pieces, then dipped into salt. Not ordinary table salt. Vietnamese fruit seasonings may combine salt, chili, sugar, and shrimp flavor. One familiar version mentioned in the source is how shrimp salt. To someone seeing this combination for the first time, it can look strange. Fruit is supposed to be sweet. Salt belongs on meat. Why mix them? Then comes the first bite. The mango is sharp and sour. The seasoning is salty, sweet, slightly spicy, and savory. Together, they make the fruit taste more intense. The visitor's face tightens because of the sourness. Then they pause. They smile and reach for another piece. Green mango, guava, plums, amberella. Almost any crisp or sour fruit can become part of the ritual. The seasoning creates a cycle. Sour fruit makes you want more seasoning. The salty seasoning makes you want another piece of fruit. Before anyone realizes what happened, the entire bag is empty. For Vietnamese students, office workers, and groups of friends, this is more than a snack. It is a social habit. A bag of cut fruit is placed in the middle. A small container of seasoning is opened. Everyone shares. Everyone dips. International visitors may laugh at the habit at first, but after trying it, many understand why Vietnamese people rarely want to eat green mango alone. The salt makes the sourness brighter. The sugar softens the sharp edge. The chili creates heat, and the shrimp flavor adds an unexpected savory note. By the end, the visitor is no longer asking why Vietnamese people put salt on fruit. They are asking where they can buy another container. These 5 flavors are very different. Chili sauce is sweet and friendly. Fish sauce is deep and essential. Fresh chili is fast and dangerous. Mom Tom is intense and unforgettable. Shrimp salt turns sour fruit into an obsession. But they all reveal the same idea. In Vietnamese cuisine, a dish is not always completely finished when it leaves the kitchen. The diner is invited to complete it. Add more fish sauce. Squeeze in some lime. Drop in another chili. Mix the shrimp paste until it foams. Dip the mango one more time. Each person adjusts the flavor. That may be why international visitors find the Vietnamese table so exciting. The food does not simply ask them to eat, it asks them to participate. At first, the bottles and bowls may seem confusing. Some smell strange. Some look dangerously spicy. But eventually, fear becomes curiosity. Curiosity becomes understanding. And understanding becomes one more dip, one more spoonful, and one more request for extra sauce. So, which of these 5 Vietnamese flavors would you try first? And which one would require the most courage? This is Beyond Vietnam, where the smallest bowl on the table can hold the biggest surprise.